So today I'm talking to Tracy from thelovevitamin.com, and Tracy's making a living helping people clear their acne and helping people clear their skin or get clear skin. Now, I've gotten a few questions from people wondering if it's possible to create a lifestyle business in a non-business market. So I wanted to bring on Tracy to show that it is possible, because it's easy to think that you have to teach others how to make money online in order to make money online, but that just isn't true. The reason it appears that way is because the people making a living in non-business niches are not very well known. They're just helping people and living their lives. So it is very possible to help people have better relationships, to make a living as a life coach, or whatever you want to do. If there are people doing what you want to do, that means you can build a lifestyle business around that. So with that said, let's jump right into the interview. So today I'm here with Tracy from The Love Vitamin. How are you doing, Tracy?
Good, thanks. How are you, Henry?
Doing good. Just had a bit too much green tea today, so I'm energized.
Right, it's the evening there. I just woke up.
Yeah, it's 5:30 p.m., so hopefully I'll be able to fall asleep later. So could you share a bit about who you are and like some of your story?
So, as you said, my name is Tracy. I live in Canada. I'm 25 and I run the blog, The Love Vitamin. So, The Love Vitamin is all about treating acne with a holistic approach. So, with changing your diet, your lifestyle, so exercising more, reducing your stress, changing your skincare to more natural things instead of chemicals. And how this all started is, of course, I have spent my whole life with sort of mild to moderate acne, which when I was 20, almost 23, it sort of suddenly became very severe. And it kind of came out of left field and it was very emotionally painful. Like a lot of people who haven't ever had skin problems might not quite understand how emotionally painful it is and how hard it is on your self-esteem, but it was just an awful awful period in my life and I wanted to get rid of it as fast as possible. But like for a lot of diseases, the conventional way of treating it is with really harsh drugs, and often they don't work that well. But luckily I had already sort of known and heard that you could treat it naturally, which sort of gets to more of the root of the problem, actually erases the underlying cause that you're getting it. So I decided to go that route. As I said, I changed my diet and focused on stress reduction and, changed all these things in my lifestyle just to live healthier. And I did manage to get rid of it fairly quickly within a few months. And then, yeah, so then I decided I was really interested in the nutrition aspect of it. And I just decided to take a nutritional diploma in holistic nutrition. And I was kind of like, well, what am I going to do with it? I was sort of pondering my life goals. And I was like, what am I going to do with this? And then I was like, well, maybe I should start a blog. So I decided to start a blog and share my story about how I got rid of the acne and how, let everybody know how they can do the same.
So was this your first blog?
Yes, yeah, it's my first blog. Mm-hmm.
So you've never tried starting an online business or anything related before this?
No, I mean, I've always been a bit of a computer nerd. Like, I remember I made websites back in, middle school, just like cheesy little websites that didn't last very long, but just playing around. And I've spent a lot of my life online researching things. It's sort of just been something that I've done. So I've been a little bit, I've spent a lot of time on the computer, but never specifically a blog. No, this was the first.
Yeah. So did you always intend for the blog to make money, or was it just like something you wanted to start and then see what would happen?
Yes, I did intend from the beginning to make money. It's funny, I always hear when people when they talk about their blogs, they're always like, I just started it as a hobby and then it made money. But no, I actually did intend to make money from it because I saw that other people were doing the same. And I realized I had spent so much time researching things that I was interested in, especially now. It was like acne was, I was researching it crazy. And it was just like, I spent so much time reading other people's blogs and watching other people's videos that I was like, well, I could do that. These people are doing it. And I was like, yeah. So I was sitting there thinking about what do I want to do with this nutrition diploma that I was doing. It was like, do I want to start a bricks and mortar business where I'm going to be tied to it? And then, of course, I would have to be helping people with a wide variety of problems. And, if I was honest with myself, it was like acne was the thing that I was interested in because that was the thing that, I was most passionate about because it was what had emotionally affected me so directly that, when I thought about what is my ideal career here, it was like, well, just helping people with acne specifically. So I thought, well, these people are doing it. Maybe I could do it.
Yeah, sounds a lot like what I did in the beginning. So did you have what was your plan in the beginning when you started your blog? Was it basically you saw other people selling ebooks and courses and you just basically thought that you could do the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. There's a particular lady named Fran Kerr who has a website, highonhealth.org, that she just seemed really similar to me. She was the type of person you could relate to. And her blog, she had started it way back when it was about natural health to begin with. Then she broke out in acne. And then basically her blog was one of the biggest blogs on the internet about treating acne naturally. So I frequented her blog a lot. She in particular was my biggest inspiration.
Yeah, it's funny you mention her because when I started looking at your site, I just thought that this reminds me a lot about what Frank Kerr is doing, but with your own unique voice. So that there was definitely like a hint of inspiration there. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, she definitely inspired me. And of course, when I first started, I was really nervous that she was going to think that I was just copying her outright or that I wouldn't be original or that my readers were going to think that, I wasn't, that I was just copying her or something. But then as I went along, I realized that it's like, well, we're different people. We have completely different experiences. I mean, some things are similar, but we both have value in what we say. So yeah, I got over that.
Yeah. I mean, what I often talk about is that people think they have to be original and they have to like discover an untapped market, but it's actually a good thing when someone else is doing exactly what you want to be doing, because that's a sign that there are people willing to say pay for courses if someone is selling courses or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like my niche is not massive, but there's definitely people in it already. But yeah, I guess because I was so inspired by that particular blog that it was like, yeah, that was what I figured that somebody would be interested in my voice too. But
Yeah, and I
still,
like how you made the research process very very simple. It's similar to what I did because people tend to make it very very complicated. Like how do you figure out if there's demand and how do I blend in my passions? And it's basically just find something you're interested in and see if people are doing it and then jump in.
yeah, exactly.
So what was your like initial strategy? What did you do first when you started your blog?
I bought a course which told me how to blog, like how to set up your blog for so that you could make a living from it. And the course I bought was Yarrow Stark's blog mastermind program, which I don't think it's available anymore, but that's the program I bought. And yeah, it was a good starting point. It just gave me the blueprint for what I needed to do. And so I got to work on it. And man, it was a lot of work to set up the blog in the beginning. Like, I guess learning all the technical stuff about, but it was fun too.
So what were some of those initial things you did, like some of the most important?
Well, of course, setting up the setting up the WordPress blog was the first hurdle. Then, getting up your Facebook page or my YouTube page, because I decided I was gonna make videos as sort of a marketing tool to get people to my website. Set up an email list, which of course is many successful bloggers know the email list is the very important part. Is to yeah. So then I set up a like a free ebook I could give away so that people would sign up to the newsletter. Just started writing blog posts. It's hard to remember now what I did, but yeah.
So I guess you started about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was January 1st, 2011.
So in the beginning, did you immediately start getting traffic, or was it slow at first?
Slow. Yeah, it's funny looking at my analytics back then and be so excited when I got like, I don't know, a few people. So yeah, it was very slow to begin with.
So how long did it take you until you started getting traction and actually you started realizing that there might be something to this?
I think right away, like it grew slowly, but I could tell that, every week more people were coming, and I don't know, I guess I kind of just knew it was going to work. I mean, I know a lot of people when they start out, of course there were doubts and fears, but I kind of just knew it was going to work out. I don't know.
And I guess it helps when you actually see someone like Fran actually doing it, and like she's doing what you want to do, and
yeah, exactly.
You see the proof.
If I didn't have her, I probably would have been a lot less confident about it. But
so what were your main traffic generation strategies? I know a lot of people talk about guest blogging, which is great if you're in the right niche and in the right market, but did you use guest blogging or did you just do videos?
Yeah, I think most of my traffic was just from YouTube. I'd say that was definitely the biggest. I did a little bit of guest posting, not very much. Maybe half a year into it, I did start doing some guest videos for Fran's website, High in Health. But I found that I was kind of disappointed with the amount of traffic that I got from her. And I kind of thought maybe that it was because we were in directly competing niches. Because, yeah, like I guess her traffic was already sort of attached to her. Maybe they'd already bought her products. I think it was too directly competing to really make a big difference to my blog. Maybe. This is just my speculation.
So you basically focused on your own videos after that?
Yeah, pretty much. I found it was too time consuming to continue guest posting for her. Or maybe it was just more like trying to come up with ideas of guest posts. I think that was the hardest part. Yeah. Trying to keep up my own blog plus come up ideas for guest posts on hers. So I didn't really do that much. Basically, it was mostly just YouTube.
So do you do any keyword research for your articles or videos?
No, I don't. I'm actually a pretty lazy blogger. Like I don't do a lot of the things that I'm supposed to, but it's all worked out in the end. No, I don't do any keyword research.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a good point because I actually don't do any SEO or keyword research myself.
Yeah.
Compared to what I did with my earlier niche sites where I did a lot of research. But it's a good example that you don't actually have to do everything everyone suggests. So just do what makes sense and what you actually want to do, and things usually they tend to work out. And if not, you can find something that does.
yeah, I went through periods where I'm like, man, should I be doing other things? Like I didn't really know what to do, like as far as marketing strategies, but more have just naturally come along as the blog's gotten bigger. Like more people know who I am, so more people invite me to be part of different things, and it's all just worked out. But yeah, in the beginning, I didn't really do very much except just write blog posts and make videos.
So, did you have like any setbacks or anything where that made you like doubt your progress, or where you just wanted to hide under your bed covers or something?
Um, well, I there was a little bit of a period where I was because I was trying to when I was working on it maybe a year in, I had already released my first ebook and I was really hoping that I could make a living from it because I was in Australia at the time. My partner is Australian. I couldn't work there. So basically I was relying on my blog and I wanted to be making a living from it. And I released my ebook and it was selling really well for a while and it was like I kind of thought, "Oh, I've made it. Like I've made a living now." And then the sales of it dropped off. And I was so disappointed that for a while I was just like, Ugh. I got over it though and made another product and now it's good. But yeah, there was a setback there where it was just like, man, is this even worth it? Like, but
So that actually makes for a good transition. How did you figure out what to like sell to your audience? I guess it's almost natural because you saw what Fran was doing and you cover acne, so people want clear skin.
yeah, exactly. So I decided to, well, at first I wrote an ebook about because I figured I should probably write a series of ebooks, but then at first I started with one that was specifically about eating, like what to eat for clear skin, just focused on the diet. But then I kind of thought, well, that's pretty similar to the book that Fran has, and I thought it would probably be better if I just wrote one very comprehensive guide to getting rid of your acne, so that it includes instruction about the diet, but also instruction about everything else, like, stress reduction and what to use on your skin, and just more of an all around guide. So the first book I released was about eating for clear skin, and then I decided to just completely revamp it. And the second one did sell better. So I guess that was a good idea. But
So
yeah, that seemed like the obvious choice for my blog was, obviously a book about getting rid of acne.
yeah. So when did you launch your first book or ebook? How many readers did you have, or did you have like any process for determining when you should launch it, or was it more like you just felt like it and then you wrote it?
I think I had blogged I released it. The very first book was maybe 7 months in. I was just looking at my traffic last night and I didn't have a lot. Like I'd say I had less than maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people a day. Well, I mean, a lot compared to how much I have now, but I mean, it sound like a lot, but yeah, looking back. So that was, and I don't know, I just kind of thought, well, why wait? I may as well just get something out there. And I think I procrastinated on it for a long time in the beginning because I was nervous about selling, and worrying about what people would think and if they would, you know, think I'm trying to rip them off or just get money out of them or something, all those fears. But
Yeah.
I finally just did it and it was well received and yeah.
So how big was your email list at the time when you launched it?
Don't remember, but it was probably like 1,000 people, maybe.
Okay. And how did it do in terms of sales?
That's a good question. um, Pretty much since I released that, well, more like since I released the second book, I've sold like maybe an average of 2 or 3 a day. It's starting to get a little bit higher now, but like right from the beginning when I released it till more than a year later, even though my traffic was higher, I was still selling the same amount. So I kind of think that it's not really that much to do with traffic. It's just like if your audience is well targeted, you know, they want what they're selling, and then every day you're going to get new people come
Yeah.
to your blog. So it's sort of like, yeah, you may as well, if you're thinking about releasing an ebook, don't wait till you have a gazillion people. Just do it.
So how do new people find your ebook? Do you have like an autoresponders sequence on your email list, or how do they find out about it?
That's a good question. I have ads on my website, so I have a big ad below all my blog posts that sort of point to it. I also have, yeah, I have an email in my autoresponder list that talks about it. Um, I guess that's how they find it. I don't know. I'm also not very good at, like keeping track of who clicks on what, so
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
But
again a good reminder that you don't have to know all the details. You just have to remind people that there are ebooks that can help them.
yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned you have 2 ebooks. Do you have anything else you sell, or is it just ebooks?
Okay, well, I have 2 ebooks now, and I have with the second product that I released after the acne ebook was a candida cleanse program. So this is a cleanse for, I mean, if your readers don't know what candida is, it's like this yeast that lives in your gut. And anyway, because of use of antibiotics and poor diet and stuff, a lot of people have an overgrowth of this, which can lead to problems, and it can lead to acne. And I've done a couple of these cleanses like for 3 weeks, and it's basically like a no sugar diet kind of thing. It's temporary, but anyway, in the past I have found that this little procedure has worked really well for clearing up acne pretty quickly. I mean, if you have a candida problem, acne is caused by all sorts of different things. But so I decided to set up a little program where I gave them all the instructions for this cleanse, and then had an official start date for the cleanse and a private forum. So people will sign up, and then everybody starts the cleanse on the same day, and then they get emails or an email where they, have a link to this private forum, and they can go in and support each other through the process. So yeah, once I released that, I was making a solid living, like not exuberant or anything, but it was enough to live off, that's what I was aiming for. And yeah, it sold really well, like way better than I actually thought. Like I thought the first time we did the program, I thought there'd be maybe like 25 people, but there were over 100 people signed up. So
Okay, that's pretty good.
yeah, and then I host it every approximately 6 weeks, and I don't have 100 now, but it's like still is better than I thought. So that was cool.
Yeah, it usually goes down depending on how quickly your audience grows and new people come in.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the first one. So there was a lot of sort of build up to it, I think. And then, because I already had an audience waiting for it who didn't have that product. But then, yeah, as it goes on, it's like you have to have new people to participate. And anyway, and then the third book, I just released another ebook in December that's about skin compulsion. So like skin picking and popping acne and staring in the mirror too much. These are all like problems that a lot of people with skin problems have, where they just feel compulsively drawn to doing these things. Usually it's to deal with sort of an emotional issue. But anyway, so I wrote a book about how to stop doing that.
So how did you come up with that book? Was it something because you've experienced it yourself, or were people asking about it?
Yeah, I experienced it myself, and then I finally found a way to act, because I had tried to stop doing this, like stop touching my skin and, picking at pimples and that kind of thing. Like I tried to stop before, but it was really hard, and I always failed until I found a way that was successful. So I thought, well, other people could probably benefit from this. So I wrote an ebook.
Yeah, and something I always talk about is how it helps to have your own story. So if you've gone through something or if you've helped your clients go through something, it makes everything so much easier because you have insight
Yeah.
into what people are struggling with.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have 3 ebooks and 1 course.
Yeah. But I'm actually thinking about now, because I have so many other interests that I want to talk about that I think that are not directly related to my niche, but maybe the people who are already interested in my website might be interested in them as well. And that is, I already mentioned to you, I want to write my own ebook about finding your passion, and obviously telling my own story with that.
Yeah.
Finding your passion, yeah, and just stepping out of that fear zone into actually doing the things you want with your life. I also was thinking about, maybe doing the whole writing an ebook about how to blog to make a living.
Have you thought about doing like a free teleseminar or just a small offer to see if people are interested?
No. It would probably be a good idea, but I don't usually do things
Yeah.
the way that people say. So I guess my kind of thought is just like, I know that some people are going to be interested in this because it's not my main product. It's not going to upset me if like they don't sell that well. But yeah, I figure may as well.
Yeah, and if you feel excited about it, then you might as well write it and see what happens.
Yeah, also my plan is sort of that I want to, once I write a whole bunch of them, is that I want to sell them at a heavy, heavy discount. Like, so maybe $200 worth of books for maybe $50 or something, just to make like a really good deal. That way,
Yeah, like a bundle.
yeah, exactly. That way people are getting like tons of value, and hopefully it will sell well because it's such a good deal.
Yeah.
So that's my plan in the end.
Yeah, I actually did that once with my products, and it tends to do really well if people are interested and you have an audience, which you do, and then if you can release that bundle, say a few times a year, that's gonna help as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's a good idea to just have it all the time, or if it's should be a limited time offer. I don't know. I haven't worked it. I have to write the other books first.
Yeah.
Got to get motivated to do that. So
Yeah. So something I was curious about is with your Candida course, you said you had, do you have a members area?
yeah.
So what kind of software do you use for that? Do you just use WordPress or is it something else?
I host a forum on Ning. Ning.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I think it's Ning.
Ning. Yeah, Ning.com or whatever. It just seemed like the easiest. So I didn't know how to set it up on my own site. So
does Ning handle payments and as well?
no, I just take the payments on my own site using eJunkie and PayPal. And then I put them on an email list. And then the day before the cleanse starts, I just send them an email linking to the Ning forum.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you could go back and do this all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
No. Not really. I guess it's all worked out. I think I might have gotten on making more products sooner. I think for a long time, I sort of got really comfortable with the amount of income I was making and wasn't bothering to push my business forward because I was afraid of taxes. This is silly, but I basically in Canada, you don't have to collect sales tax on your products before if you don't make over a certain amount of money per year, like in your business.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to collect taxes, so I just decided to just stay at this sort of plateau. And once I decided to just get over that and work out how to do it, it really wasn't that hard. And then now I feel more free to grow the business and make some more money so that I can, finance my own dreams, which is like buying a house with a huge garden and that kind of thing. And, you need money to do that. And I also think a lot of people are afraid of making money. Like, I feel like I was afraid of making money because I had beliefs about people who had a lot of money thinking that they're, bad people or something. And that's not true. I realized that if you make more money, you have more um, room to be generous and give money away and just more wiggle room with that kind of thing. And money can be used for good or evil. And I think that, yeah, I just I needed to get over some limiting beliefs I had about money, and now I can move forward.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big part of building an online business or a lifestyle business seems to be psychological. I mean, I've gone through the same like stages where you have like money blocks, and then you get through one stage and you make more and you put more into what you're doing and you see more results, and it's kind of like obstacle or challenge after challenge, and you grow and your business grows.
Yeah, but yeah, there's that fear of, you know, what your readers are going to think if you're making so much money from them. It's like, are they going to think that I'm just like, greedy or something? When it's like, it's not like that. It's like, if you give honest value to people, then you deserve, something in exchange. And like, I kind of see it as like an exchange of energy that, money is just sort of like the symbol for that.
Yeah.
And like I said, money can be used for good or evil, and people with money are not necessarily bad. And it's like it's totally the best way to help people, because if if you can't take money for your gifts, then you have to make money some other way. And that's doing something that you don't love, that you're not passionate about.
Yeah, that usually isn't helping anyone.
Exactly. It's not, except it's helping someone else get rich and, fund their dreams or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's not helping anyone. So,
So how did you overcome some of these fears?
um, well, the one about when I was having, well, the worry about, people thinking that I was greedy, I just talked myself out of it. I just kind of was like, it's okay. Like, you were giving value. And I kind of just reasoned with myself, basically, just because
Yeah.
because I knew it was just like an irrational fear, that it wasn't anything that was serious. It was just my own fear talking. So I guess I just took action in despite of the fear and moved forward anyway. What got me out of the whole I'm afraid of figuring out my taxes thing was that I read a Steve Pavlina post about money, and he kind of reframed the whole thing. And he was talking about, if you're not making more money, like if you have a business and you're not making more money, it's because you feel that you don't deserve to, or that that a high amount of money scares you, and you kind of get comfortable with a certain amount of income, and you don't want to move forward because you have these weird beliefs about money. And I was like, oh, you're so right. So
Yeah.
I read that blog post. I was like, oh yeah, that's so me. Like, and then that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm just gonna take life by the horns here and move forward. And so I did. Now I'm in the process of it.
Awesome. So one question I forgot to ask was, at what point did you achieve a full-time income? I mean, you started 2011, and when did you realize that you were actually doing this full time?
So it was in January 2012, or maybe February, because that's when I released the second product, the Candida Cleanse. And that's,
Okay.
yeah.
So about a year.
Yeah, so about a year. So
That's
really not that long in the if you think about how long businesses usually take to get off the ground. Yeah, I mean, of course there was a lot of work with no income to begin with, but in the scheme of business, not too bad.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I mean, I spent, I think, 2 or 3 years just banging my head against the wall and trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guess,
It helps to have a blueprint to do it and inspiration from people. So, yeah.
yeah. I mean, did you find that having a course to follow helped a lot?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I think that if I hadn't paid to learn that, it would have just been way more mistakes, way more time spent not knowing what I was supposed to do. Because I mean, all the information that I learned from this blog mastermind course, I mean, obviously it's all over the internet. I mean, make money online blogs are everywhere, but it's, it's really helpful to have it all in one place that you can just follow instead of picking and choosing from all these things. It really made it easy. And I think, yeah, I'm so grateful that I just went ahead and did that, because otherwise would have been a lot more time wasted. So many more, just floundering around trying to figure out what to do. And yeah, I'm glad that I decided to do that for sure.
Yeah, and it actually helps to have the information come from one source, because if you're just reading free information, it's usually multiple sources and it's confusing, conflicting, and then you just want to give up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that people, if you have a blog and you're worried about writing an ebook because you don't know what to write about, because I think a big stumbling block for people is that they think, well, I'm already writing everything I know in my blog and giving it away for free. And so it's like, well, what do I write about in my ebook? But the thing is that when people come to the blog, like, there's just so much information, it's just scattered everywhere, that it's just so much easier for people that if they want to, they can just pay and get the information in one place, laid out in an easy to read sort of format.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're worried because you don't know if you have anything else to say for an ebook, it's not true. You just have to compile what you've already written and give it to them all in one package, and it's really helpful to people.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess one last question before we wrap up, and that is, what has your business allowed you to do? I mean, when you're doing work you love and you aren't tied to any location, what are you able to do in your life? What does it look like?
It's so wonderful. Well, I mean, my life, my day-to-day life, it's not like it's super glamorous, but it is lovely that I get to wake up out of bed and I don't have to commute anywhere. Working from home is great. I mean, sometimes it's difficult because there's a lot of distractions at home, and it's easy to procrastinate and that kind of thing. Time management has not always been my greatest asset, but working from home is wonderful. And yeah, being location independent is great, although it's kind of funny because I used to be way into travel. Like, travel was my passion, and I traveled the world, and it was like my big thing. And only recently, and yeah, it's like back then it would have been great to have a location independent job. But it's funny because now I'm sort of getting into the phase of my life where I'm not that into travel anymore. Like, I still want to travel, but I'm more settled down now. I have a partner, I have dogs, and I just kind of feel more like a homebody now. But it's funny because now it's like, now I have this location independent business where technically I could do it from anywhere in the world. But it still has been helpful because last winter we went to Australia we spent 6 months there, and because my partner is Australian, so I got to go there on a tourist visa, but yet I was still able to work online, and I got to spend time with his family and that kind of thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to spend so long there because I didn't have a visa to work. But
Yeah.
because of my business, we could go, so that was great. What other benefits? I get to take time off whenever I want. That is the best. Is that I do like going on weekend trips and going out of town, and like I can work whenever I want. So I never have to miss any kind of social engagement. So that's great. And Yeah, go to anything I want. I don't have a boss telling me what to do.
That helps.
Well, and of course, that I just get to do something that's like creative. I'm in control of it. It's a very creative job where I can choose to do so much with it that I want. And yeah, don't have to confer with anyone else. I just get to do exactly what I want to do. So I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely rewarding once you actually figure stuff out and once you actually start gaining momentum with your business.
Mm-hmm. And it's really nice that now that I've made it to the point where I'm making a full-time living, so I don't have to worry about paying the bills, but now I can concentrate on, if I want to, I can expand the business. I can make as much money as effort I want to put into it, right? Like I have that power, which is pretty cool, because if you're in a job, you have to wait till your boss gives you a raise.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool knowing that if I want to, I could make an unlimited amount of money depending on how much time and effort I want to put into it. So
yeah. Exactly. So where can people reach you if they want to find out more about you or just contact you?
Just go to thelovevitamin.com and you can read my blog posts, see my videos, and there's a contact page there if you want to get in touch with me.
Awesome. So thanks again, Tracy. I've run out of questions, so thanks for doing this interview.
Yeah, thanks very much, Henry.
So that's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Tracy, and I hope it inspires you to take action, because none of this matters unless you actually implement what you learn. And as always, if you want to dive deeper into how you can turn your passion into a thriving lifestyle business, simply head on over to wakeupcloud.com. And if you're enjoying this podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes. It helps the podcast reach and help more people, so please leave a review if you can. It takes just a few minutes. So I'll see you in the next episode. This is Henry signing out. Bye for now.